Hi, this is James Hayton, and welcome once again to the PhD Essentials podcast. In this episode, I'm going to talk about seeking the flow state in writing. So, what do I mean by the flow state? The flow state is something that can happen very occasionally when you sit down to write and the words just come easily to you. So, it's almost like you're not even doing the writing yourself. The words are just flowing through you, and you're not necessarily consciously aware of the effort that you're making. It's almost like somebody else is doing the writing. And this is a fantastic feeling. It feels really good. But it can equally be very frustrating when you sit down to write and, having experienced that flow state, it doesn't then happen. So you find that it's very difficult and every single sentence is a real struggle. What you need to understand is that the reason the flow state is sometimes possible is because you've spent a lot of time thinking about particular ideas, you've maybe discussed them many times, and so it's relatively easy for your subconscious to take over because you know it well. You've done all that work, so it can flow out quite easily. But in academic writing, that is not always going to be the case. You will often come up against the limits of your knowledge, the limits of what you've already explored. And so there'll be many ideas which you're perhaps not quite as confident in. There'll be ideas which aren't quite as well developed. There'll be ideas which occur to you as you write, but they're not quite fully formed, and it's like it's there floating in front of you, but you can't quite grab hold of it and put it into words. And although this can be frustrating, all that it requires is that you slow down and be patient with yourself and devote conscious effort to finding the words and solving that particular problem of expression. So, if you're constantly seeking that flow state, then you need to recognize that it's not always possible and it's not always appropriate. Sometimes you need to allow yourself to slow down because more difficult ideas or ideas which you haven't quite developed as much will take more conscious effort, and it won't be possible to just allow it to flow out. So try not to get frustrated if you can't find the flow state. Relax, slow down, and take the time necessary.